Alright, I want to go over a few ways today of how we practice, how I practice, how we suggest that our students practice, and I want to pass this along to all y'all out there. There's a lot of practice guns we can get. I'm going to go over basically the cheapest to the most expensive way to do this and things we need to look for. With all of this, you can do a lot of practicing without live ammo. The only difference in practicing with and without live ammo is that recoil, basically. So everything up to the draw all the way to that first trigger pull, everything's the same until it should have recoil when you've actually pulled the trigger. However, even the trigger pull is mimicked because you have the trigger pull first, then you have the recoil. So you can practice, you know, your all your shooting fundamentals, your draw times, and all that good stuff. And there's also an app that you can get with one of these ways to train. And the first one is the cheapest that I'm going to go over, is take your firearm. This is one of ours that we set up that have some of the students practice and try with, but it has a laser cartridge in it. So we're going to go ahead and check it. I know it's clear because this is the one that I always have my laser cartridge in there. We can see the laser cartridge in there. It is not a live firearm, and what this does is you can holster it and you can draw and all that good stuff. And I'm going to try to see if we can see that dot. Alright, so we see the dot right there. When you pull that trigger, a dot goes off, so you can have a target. You can have a regular target, you know, you can print off a target. You can just take a piece of copy paper or whatever and just draw you some circles. That's what we do a lot with training, is we'll put us a piece of copy paper up there and then just draw some small circles. So we aim small, miss small, basically. Or you can get some of these little reflective targets right here. These are nice. You can't really see it on camera. However, this reflects that laser dot really well, so it kind of brightens it up a little bit. So when we're a good distance away, we can see it a little bit better. And this is all the laser cartridge is. It is basically to your caliber. We can get them on Amazon. I'll actually post a link below to the ones that I tend to go on Amazon. They're about $35, $40, somewhere in there. You can get some really cheap $19 ones, but what you run into there is they don't have your little rubber pad back here, and they don't have the little O-rings here to actually help seat it in the firearm, so you can run into problems there. There's several decent name brands out there, but whatever you're looking for, make sure you get one with a little rubber pad. Make sure it's the caliber that you need. Say this one's 9mm. Be careful of 380 though. I've ordered a couple 380s before and it just comes as a 9mm, because the 9mm and 380 is the same diameter, but the cartridges don't fit. And I've had to, like, hey, you know, you can't sell this as a 380 because it doesn't fit. You know, I kept them or whatever because I can use them. However, just make sure you be careful with that 380. Contact the company, whoever you're going to order it from, say, hey, does this actually fit a 380? Because I've run into problems with that as well. I haven't been able to find a 380 in a while. But for any of you 9mm and up guys, this is a really good way to go. You get your laser cartridge, and then you're going to look for an app. The app is called Shot Verifier. SHOTVERYFIERLT. It looks something, let's see if we can get that on there, like that. Basically what you're going to do on here is you would put a target on your wall. And see, I got my target down here. I can set my target to this little target, and I'd be a little bit further away, so that I'd put a bigger target as well. And then you hit go, you set up some settings and stuff. You hit go, it counts down, and the timer counts down, and then it buzzes, and off that buzz you draw and you fire your shot, and it lets you know how long it took you to draw and fire that shot, and it also shows you where the shot placement was. Alright, so we have some targets that we use. They're correctional shooting targets, or corrective shooting targets. You can look those up online, print them out, put them on the wall, put your shot verifier up, stand your distance away. And most people, I don't suggest starting, if you're a new person to shooting, start at 5 yards. Get real close to that target, get all your shooting fundamentals down with this laser cartridge. It's not a real firearm. Nobody's going to get hurt with this. You can practice in the safety of your home, the quiet. Just go to back bedroom or office or whatever, the bathroom, who cares? Just lock the door, get in there, and do some practicing. And then you know that it's safe, you know that it's clear, you can do all your practicing there, and then you can go out to a live range and you've learned how to handle the gun, you learn how to do all this, and then you can get used to that recoil. This doesn't take away from live fire at all. I highly suggest continue doing your live fire. I suggest once a month for most people, more if possible, but I do know how hard it is to get to the range, and I know how much ammo costs right now. However, the app is $7. This cartridge is about 40. So for under 50 bucks, I think the cartridge is good for about 50,000 rounds. And as far as I know, that app's a one-time fee. I haven't had to pay another fee, and I've had it for a couple years now. So this is a good way to go. So this is the cheapest way to go to practice this, and this is with your firearm. All right, so that's your cheapest way, and that's one of the ones I suggest most people, because most people are not going to put a lot of money into their training efforts because they're just honestly not going to do it as much as those of us that do train and do instruct. All right, so we're going to go over. You've got the SIRT firearms, S-I-R-T right here. Just look up SIRT concealed carry trainer or SIRT PP pocket pistol trainer. That is what this is, and it does the same thing. It has basically two. When you get in, you can cut this double off, but right now it's showing you kind of about where you're going to hit, and then you hit right there. It's giving you reference points basically, and then you just come in here, and it's just got this little switch. Turn that off. Then it doesn't have that one, and then you go more to a guessing or a learning there. All right, so this is another way. These are in the close to $300 depending on what all you get with it. They can be upwards of $400. The same thing with the other SIRT over here. Now of course this is the Glock 17 generation 3 SIRT trainer, and then they have a couple different ones out there, so you can get the smaller, you can get the larger, and it does the same thing. So we're here. Also with these trainers, you can adjust the trigger pull and the brake to mimic your firearm. So I actually carry a Glock 19, so I can mimic this trigger to my Glock 19, which is what I did for a long time. But these are a good way to go, and these will fit your Glock 17 holsters. These will not. If you get this one out there, we do make a holster for this one. We custom make this holster to this gun. So we make these holsters, so you can find this on our website, defensetraining.org/holsters. There are a couple holsters that kind of almost fit it, but they're not perfect. You don't have that audible snap. They don't sit in there like that. They would be really, really loose in there, just sloppily feel, and that's not what you want either. So if you have this gun or go to this gun, look us up. We have these holsters. It's down there. It's in our website. You can go to, this is your Glock 19, and this is from laser ammo. This is actually an airsoft converted to a laser trainer. Now this one has the IR laser, so you're not going to be able to see it when I hit it. But what this does is you put green gas, you pop this little lid back, you fill it up with green gas, then you put it, it's got a little button right there, and I usually have to take a little like pin, push it in and push it back. I fill it up, you put it back in, and now what this does, this gives you a little bit of recoil. Alright, so this thing kicks, so it kicks back, so it gives you that little bit of recoil. Now granted, this is about probably a 22 recoil, somewhere in there. It's not going to give you that full 9mm recoil, but what this can do is it can get you out of that flinching. So you come up and you draw and you come, and I know how it is, you know, because when I was first learning, I'd hit it and I would flinch or my eyes would close. This gets you out of that flinching. So then when you go to your real gun, you don't have the tendency to flinch as much. Now again, does this take away from live fire? Absolutely not. But this is another thing you can do. Now you can get these with just the red lasers as well. So it can have the red visible laser, or it can have the IR that is not visible. I use this with my virtual shooting range, so it's not just popping the laser on, so I'm not seeing the laser, but I'm seeing the shots as it hits on the range, just let me know where they're actually hitting. So this is a good way to go, especially you guys that have the virtual ranges or have any kind of software like that that reads the IR. This is a good way to go, and I can just take my real firearm out of my holster, secure it somewhere else, put this in my holster, and I don't have to swap guns. In fact, it has the exact sights that I have on my firearm. I have what they call speed sights. So these are pretty cool sights. They're very fast close up, so you've got a huge sight up front, bright green sight right there, and then you just line the diamonds up. They actually touch each other, so you know you're on target. Now when you get a little further away, the impact point isn't behind this sight. The impact point is actually at the tip of the little top of the diamond right there. So that's where my impact point is. It's a little bit different than what we're used to, but it helps me to see where my impact's going to be a little bit better than just behind that sight. So I like these for well, you know, iron sights basically, and that's what I use. I went to these sights on my Glock 19 that I carry. So these are pretty cool. And then of course they've got this one. This is of course your Gen 3 17. And I've taken the laser off of it because I've actually got it in here. I do have the other laser. However, with these guns, you're looking at $420 shipped to your door. So this gets in the a little more money. This is as much as you would pay for some firearms. In fact, you know, 420 bucks for one of these firearms. I know that the Glock 19 Gen 3s are on sale right now at some of the places local for $499. So it's close to what you would pay for a real Glock. However, you can get a lot of training, a lot of practice without live ammo with this firearm. This is just ways that I wanted to go over that you can do. This is the cheapest, and it works almost as good as even the recoil simulators does, because you're using your firearm. You've got a laser cartridge in your firearm. Whatever you do, make sure you clear, check your firearm, make sure everything's safe, and do it properly. And then you can have some good safe practice at home and not spending a lot of money, and you could do this every day. I highly suggest everybody practice this at least 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be but like for 5 minutes. Just get in a room, pull your ammo out, put your laser cartridge in, and then practice your draw, practice getting to your gun wherever your gun's at. Even if it's in your pocketbook, ladies, practice getting it out of that pocketbook. If you carry it on your ankle, there are better places to carry. On your waist, the appendix is my preference. However, I know not everybody's going to carry in that location. So you need to practice wherever you're carrying it. These are ways I suggest, and for those that don't want to put a whole lot of money into it, you know, you just paid, you know, because I know there's a lot of guys out there, guys and gals, that don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on this. They just want something for protection, but you do need to practice. So you know, they've spent a couple hundred, $200-300 on the gun, and they're like, oh my goodness, you know, I've got a lot of money in this gun already, I don't want to spend more. And then ammo's expensive. Well, get you a $30-40 laser cartridge, get your targets up, get that app, Shot Verifier. For 50 bucks you can do a lot of training at home, and then you can get proficient enough to where if something goes down, you can defend yourself. Alright guys, these are just a couple things I wanted to go over. Go check us out if you're looking for any kind of holsters or anything. If you're in the Anderson area, we do offer training, defensetraining.org. Go check us out over there. And if you're looking for holsters for anything, defensetraining.org/holsters.